All right, so you guys find most of your things up here?
Yeah, we're missing our internal jugular.
Jugular? Yeah.
We had most of the other stuff, I think.
Yeah, so your internal jugular, just seeing if there's any. There. Yeah. That was it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So internal jugular, always a tiny fraction of the width of the external jugular.
Okay.
So if you look up here, you saw this before. This is the hyoid venous arch that crosses over from left and right side, and it's kind of a good marker because the hyoid sits right underneath that. So if you look at here, there's the maxillary vein and a linguofacial vein. Where those join with the hyoid venous arch, that produces the external jugular. So those things are all draining the head, and then when they drain the head, they combine to form that, right? Then you've got your subclavian going out to the arm, right? So over here, you've got it kind of subdivided out a little bit.
Sorry, I didn't do a lot of work on this side.
All right, so here's there's your subscapular here.
Okay.
Going down to the scapula, and the brachial, which is going to continue on out onto the arm itself, right? Here's your internal mammary or your internal thoracic artery and vein that are going to basically be going to the sternum. Right? Then, so up here, it's a superficial cervical vein here that's kind of going on the neck, right, as the external jugular is going all the way up, right? You can see that really obvious asymmetry in the arterial system, right? Because you have on the left side you have the aorta, but on the right side no aorta. And then on the left side, you have your left subclavian coming off separately from the aorta. But on the right side, right, you've got your brachiocephalic artery, which gives rise to the carotids and to the right subclavian, right? So this is, it's a little abstract when you see those kind of like diagrams of the aortic arches, but that's the left and right aortic arch 3. Right, there's your aortic arch 4, which is the systemic arch, and the aortic arch 6, which is the only other one that's left, is the one that's going from the heart directly into the lungs. So you don't really see much of the pulmonaries because the lungs are so tightly tied to the heart that the best you can do is if you clear all of this off, you get like a millimeter or so clear that you can kind of see them coming into the root of the lungs right in there.
Okay,
yeah. Then down here, just make sure this looks really nice. You got that really nicely cleared down there. So so you have two big branches that come off. There's a little gastric coming off here for the stomach. You have two big branches that come off of the dorsal aorta. So you got your celiac that's coming up, and right, you can follow that, the different branches, so that sends a branch that goes up to the liver, a little hepatic branch, just like you had in the necturus. It sends a branch that goes around. This is the pancreas, and this is the duodenum. And in between the pancreas and the duodenum is your pancreatico-duodenal artery here. So that's going to follow the curve of the duodenum. Then down here, this is your superior mesenteric, and this is going to give rise to all of these small vessels here. This is your inferior mesenteric that goes to the bottom part of the large intestine. Then this is going to carry on and divide up here into all of these little intestinal arteries that are going out here. And in each of these, running in here, you have the artery. Now, you don't have the hepatic portal injection. If you did, you'd see a hepatic portal vein in there. But also running in there are lymphatic vessels. So these kind of wide, kind of empty spaces in here, those are lymphatics.
Okay.
So those are all lymphatic vessels. So all of that stuff is going to be draining back and then following along up the thoracic duct to get up to essentially empty right up in here is where those lymphatics are going to dump. Okay? Down here, that all looks good. You got your division down there. There's your caudal artery and vein down there. External iliacs. Right, and then there's your internal iliacs. So really, that's really clean. I might just call people over to take a look at this because yours is nice and clean here, so they can kind of see what it should look like. 'Cause sometimes people just